What's up everyone and welcome to today's video. I am Kelsey, your certified lifestyle and transformations coach here at Luna Wolf Healing. Make sure to like and subscribe. I upload videos every single Friday for your lifestyle transformation, self-love, and mindset tips. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys all about overcoming obstacles. We are going to discuss why these obstacles come, how we can overcome them, how you can change your perspective around challenges and obstacles so that you can stay motivated, keep your willpower, keep your vision, and basically keep on moseying even if there are obstacles, roadblocks, challenges, setbacks, etc. Because let's just be honest, guys, no matter what we do, there are going to be some challenges, setbacks, obstacles, etc. So let's talk about how we can overcome that. So I know for me, I've had a lot of obstacles to overcome. I continue to face obstacles as I continue my transformation and growth journey. The last 5 years of my life has honestly just been overcoming obstacle, overcoming a challenge, growing, healing, learning, overcoming, continuous over and over and over again, kind of in this cyclical nature, right? We end up on these upswings of great, amazing work and change is happening, and then bam, roadblock, and we feel like we're doing something wrong or like we're making mistakes. And sometimes we even feel like because these setbacks, challenges, and obstacles are occurring, that means whatever it is that you're chasing after isn't really meant for you. That was probably one of my biggest obstacles, was that belief that just because something isn't happening in the way that I had it planned out in my head, or it's not happening in that time frame that I also had planned out in my head, right? That, oh, maybe this isn't good, like maybe this wasn't meant for me. If these things keep happening, if I'm not getting what I set out for, then this must not be right for me. And then what do? You give up. So here's the thing. Oftentimes, especially when we're changing, transforming, and growing, life is going to throw those challenges, obstacles, and setbacks at you for multiple reasons. And yeah, one might be because it's not meant for you, but more likely it's because it is a time for you. It's an opportunity for you to take that challenge, take that setback, take that obstacle, learn from it, grow from it. It's almost like a test, right? We often talk about, and especially in the spiritual community, you often hear of these universal tests or life tests. And I have, especially in the last few years, have really noticed that 99.9% of the obstacles, challenges, and setbacks that occur during these phases of your life is because it's meant to help you grow. It's meant to teach you something. It's meant to allow you to practice whatever new thing it is that you're trying to integrate into your life. Number one is recognizing that these challenges, setbacks, and obstacles are here for you. I like to say it like this: life is happening for you, not to you. So kind of goes the same way with the challenges. It's not a personal thing, okay? It's an opportunity. Being able to overcome your obstacles, your challenges, your setbacks is by recognizing that it is an opportunity. So here I will share with you guys my coaching story. So basically my life from 2021 to now is February the 7th as I'm recording this, 2023. So definitely 2 years, right? 2 years ago in 2021, it started for me where I was like, okay, being an educational assistant working with spec ed kids is not working for me. It was a weird feeling because I loved what I did, but I still felt unfulfilled. So I had literally this epiphany of this is half of it. This is you're doing parts of your soul's mission and life purpose, which is helping people improve their quality of life. But I'm just not doing it in the way that I know now that I'm meant to. So there was this okay, in 2021, right? There was this there's something's wrong. Even though I've been doing this for so long, every single new job that I would get in this field, because I have worked in multiple different sectors, working with spec ed kids, I've worked in group homes, I've done camps, I've done clinical care, I've done therapy, I've done private, and I've done school. Just to name a few. There might be more, but I just can't think of it off the top of my head. So no matter what environment I was put in, I would always be like super excited, loved it, really motivated, all that jazz for the first little bit, and then it just wouldn't take me long to burn out, and I just never truly understood what was going on. There was these obstacles, right? So hindsight's 2020. In 2022, after 2021 of having an epiphany and kind of being and really reflecting on and experimenting and asking myself these questions, in 2022 I was like, I'm meant to be a coach. That's what I'm meant to do. And it's funny because even when I was a child, I said I wanted to be a counselor, but I didn't necessarily want to like go to university and get a PhD. So it's just interesting how your child brain, because coaching is kind of like counseling, let's be honest, but there's a very fine line, because I'm not going to be that person to completely walk you through your mental health. I'm not a psychiatrist. I didn't go get my PhD, right? So I'm not going to have all of that knowledge like a therapist would. But there is a lot of similarities between the two professions. A lot of similarities between the two professions, right? So in 2022, I was like, I'm meant to be a coach. Okay, now what? So then I started that work. I became a mental health coach and I put myself out there. I started my Instagram account. I got into some followers. I invested into my first coach, and then nothing happened. So then, of course, I was like, okay, well then I need to do something different. There's this roadblock here because nothing's happening. So I invested into another coach who was more of a business coach versus the first coach that I invested into was more of like the mindset coach. So now I'm invested into a business coach and I'm doing all of that work. And I started to see some progress, but after 3 months, I still didn't get any clients. Roadblock, obstacle, setback. This obstacle and setback or whatever actually completely caused a mental health and identity crisis. But again, I was like, okay, what do I do now then? Like what do I need to change and do? So then I problem solved. I kept problem solving. But here's the thing, with my coaching journey, there's been consistent roadblocks and obstacles and challenges that I had to keep overcoming, whether it be the challenge of discovering my brand, the challenge and obstacle of figuring out my voice was one of the hardest things that I have had to do. So much work had to come into that. So there was so many obstacles and challenges and setbacks that occurred around using my voice. There was obstacles on, of course, obtaining clients, getting your marketing out there, branding out there, all of that stuff, especially as someone who has no business, marketing, advertising experience. I don't even have a lot of social media experience, right? So there was all of those obstacles and roadblocks that I had to overcome. Honestly, the amount of times that I had my inner critic pop up and be like, you've been working on this for 9 months and you have gotten only this far. You were meant to get 10K a month and have a full set of clients and like none of that is happening. So if none of that is happening, is this really for you? And like that voice is just in there. I know a lot of people experience this as well. So like working through recognizing that like when you are coming into all of these setbacks and challenges and obstacles, you are being asked if you truly want this. So how hard are you going to work at it? More likely than not, there's something that you need to learn. So I know like with my coaching story that I was just sharing with you guys, I had to learn to use my voice. I had to learn to find my voice first, get in tune with what my voice even sounds like, get aligned with my voice, and then, so after those 3 things, then it was gaining the confidence to share my voice on a public forum, such as YouTube, such as my podcast, and such as Instagram, especially Instagram Lives. Like, one of my biggest challenges with using my voice was I had this limiting belief of like, whatever I say, no one gives a shit about. I have a hard time, this was another one, because of my ADHD, I have a hard time of putting what's up here and like actually getting it out of the mouth in a way that's going to make sense to people. So there was all of these limiting beliefs just around my voice and actually using it. I honestly thought that sharing my voice, I was going to get targeted, rejected, scrutinized, right? Judged. So I had to overcome that. So there's all of these little things that I had to learn in order to become the person that I needed to be, who can run a business and coach other people. And there's all of these little learning experiences that needed to occur in that time. I'm still learning as we continue to move forward. And I don't think I'm ever going to stop learning. I quite frankly don't ever want to stop learning. When it comes to overcoming obstacles, really, really recognize when those obstacles are occurring. What is it that is that roadblock, right? So if I noticed that I remember going to my coach all the time being like, I just don't know like what to share, what to put out, I don't know what to say. So that is the roadblock, and that is the telltale sign that I'm not in tune with my voice or my vision. So the work that I needed to do to overcome this obstacle was more inner work. Change more of my inner state so that the external state around me changes as well, right? Another thing about overcoming obstacles that worked so well for me, and it works for so many other people, I just don't know if we actually recognize it as much as I think we need to, and that is your goddamn support system. Are they supportive? Who are you allowing in to your immediate circle? If you've listened to my podcast episode about why environment is so important, you know why the first 5 people that you spend the most time in your life with are so detrimental to you and your energy. And your energy then means the thoughts that you think, the words that come out of your mouth, and the way you behave, how you feel on the inside. Even in 2022, I felt like I had no support system other than my partner, which I mean, #bless, of course, but it's a lot of pressure for one person. And even still, as much as my partner was supportive, he still didn't fully understand. He still doesn't fully understand, but he's supporting me in this journey. But I felt like I didn't have anyone else and who was like actually truly in my corner. You know what I mean? Understanding, who like even someone who's actually been on the path and who's like a few steps ahead of me. That right there, those words of finding someone who is on the exact path that you are on, who's only a few steps ahead, hella helpful. Hella helpful. One of the ways that I got sober was because my partner was already 5 months sober before him and I got together. So he was on the same journey, but a few steps ahead. The coach that I invested in and continue to invest in, and we've been working together for almost a year, she was in the same boat as me. She did not like the job she was at and created a business on her own, coaching other people, and she was doing it for a year or 2 before I got into it. So she has ADHD, so it's like we connected, and as we continued to connect, it became clear that like we're on the same path. She's just a few steps ahead of me, so it helps role model. She can help me because she's been there, and I can see what she's done and I can role model that. Same with my partner. When it came to getting sober from drugs and alcohol, I was able to role model, and he was able to give me advice based on his experience. Now here's the other thing though, just because someone gives you advice doesn't mean you have to listen to it. I know that's a wow. Trust your intuition. Your intuition will tell you if it's the right advice for you or not. Be careful that it's not your ego, though, telling you not to do it, trying to keep you safe and in your comfort zone and keep you small. So there's another kind of like really important key factor into overcoming obstacles, and that is getting to know the difference between your intuition and your ego. What does your intuition feel like and sound like? What does your ego feel like and sound like. So I actually just did this the other day. Took a piece of paper and I was like, okay, what does my intuition sound and feel like, and what does my ego sound and feel like? And I found that for me, so this might not be for everyone, but for me, I definitely feel my intuition in my gut. Kind of those butterfly, fuzzy, tingly feelings, right? Whereas ego, I feel, is way more in my chest. It's tight, pressure, overwhelming, and like rapid. So what does yours feel and sound like? Because that will help you determine the right action and right intentions for you going through these obstacles. Another way that you want to try to get over obstacles, so we've talked about how you need to change your perspective on obstacles and setbacks and challenges. We discussed how often obstacles, challenges, and setbacks occur because there is an opportunity for you to learn and grow, to actually move forward to whatever change it is that you're trying to create. And then obviously your support system as well. So other ways that you can work on overcoming your obstacles: take the opportunities as an opportunity for reflection, because as I've stated, these obstacles is an opportunity. So what opportunity is arising for you through this obstacle? Reflect on that. Another way of working through your obstacles is by coming up with a plan, right? Plans help a lot. So come up with a plan on how you're going to attack this obstacle or use this obstacle to your advantage. What creative ways can you overcome this obstacle? Sometimes it even means surrendering, right? And allowing the higher power, to whichever one feels good for you, to kind of like help guide you in that moment as well. And like really, like that's kind of like another aspect to this too, is having faith in something. I'm not going to tell you what's right and what's wrong. It's different for everybody, whether it be religion, spirituality, source, mother nature, God, whatever. But tapping into your faith during really hard times, even if you feel like you don't have much of a faith, do you believe in the healing energies of nature? Do you believe that if you go outside alone, no music, no distractions, and you can get more in tune with yourself? Because that's totally acceptable. Do you believe that there is a version of you out there somewhere, this higher version of you, this next level self, you, right? Who has none of these limiting beliefs, who has all of the things that you desire and want in your life? You can totally connect with that person. Whatever floats your little boat in terms of faith, tap into it. As someone who's a bit of a control freak and severely impatient, cultivating my faith has been extremely helpful overall for my energy. Being able to pray, to express gratitude really helps you realize just how good your life is. But then being able to vent and cry, ask for help, and ask for signs. This is definitely on the more woo-woo-y part, but like, ask for signs, guys. The amount of times that I've asked for signs when shit was popping off, and then I would get that sign, and the relief that I would feel just from that, highly recommend. So if you're a little bit more on the woo-woo-y side, ask for a sign. If you're not on the more woo-woo-y side, what higher power do you believe in? Something, right? Like I'm sure, like even when I was extremely atheist, I was really never extremely atheist, but I had an atheist moment, and even then I felt like there was something bigger, but I couldn't pinpoint it. Ask yourself about your faith, and then ask yourself how you can use your faith to help you out. And then honestly, other ways to overcome obstacles is to let it go. And what I mean by this is, I'm someone who, like, if there's a problem, I need to get it fixed. And I need to get it fixed like right now, right then, right there. And if I don't, there's this overwhelm, this anxiety, this like, holy shit, what the fuck do I do? That's what I mean by let it go. Sometimes we're so fixated on the issue that we forget to live life. And because we're forgetting to live life, we don't have the energy to actually do what we need to do, overcome the obstacle. And then we get burned out, depressed, anxious, give up, right? So sometimes honestly, letting it go, remember to allow yourself to experience other things in life. So even if shit's popping off, and like, trust me, 2022 was a year for me, so I put this into practice quite a bit, and it works. Give yourself an hour a day, if you can. 10 minutes. But do something for you. Y-O-U. You. Not your kids, not your spouse, not your boss, not your mom, not your dad, not your sister, not your brother, not your best friend, not your dog. No one. You. Does that mean you go literally just lie in bed with all the lights turned off and no distractions for 10 minutes? Do that. If that means going outside for a nice walk, do that. If that means painting, do that. Take a bath, do that. Do whatever the fuck you need to do to live your life. And quite honestly, not only should you be doing that, you should be really integrating some form of joy and celebration into your day-to-day life so that you stay content. I'm going to use the word content, okay? Because especially when shit's going off, and if you forget to take care of yourself and add fun, play, celebration, rest, then the chances of you getting burnt out, anxious, depressed, overwhelmed is that much higher. So the next time that you are in the face of an obstacle, I want you to think of yourself as a rhino, okay? Rhino. A rhino can go around, over, and through that obstacle. You're a rhino, my friend. But just follow these tips. Make sure to like, subscribe, because there'll be more next week. There's links in the description box below for one-to-one coaching if you really want to get in on changing your fucking life in 2023. All of that jazz is in the links below. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.